Let's talk about the role of philanthropy in art, right? In the West, there have been a lot of institutionalized philanthropy supporting the art movement, and there's a lot of money, literally billions of dollars in it, right? Do you
Yes,
see institutionalized philanthropy playing a large role in the rise of street art in India, or is the
it is.
future for independent creators of art who are creating functional pieces?
Independent wale to they do their stuff. Let's say, for example, there's this guy again. Like I'm using this as a platform to give
Sure,
shout outs here and there to all the
no
people I know,
worries.
as you can see. So there is Badal. I can't pronounce his full name,
Okay,
but he's an artist based out of Bangalore, and he does amazing work on the streets. In fact, he's been doing it for the last 5 years. He does like topical street art, like a lot of these street artists do.
okay,
And recently, in the Corona pandemic, he utilized this situation to kind of use Titanic and the Mask
right,
and Thanos. He did all these themes with respect to the Mask situation, and it went viral.
okay,
Um, so that was wonderful. So there are, and Tyler is there, and there's Guess Who in Kochi and Bangalore.
right,
So people are doing these topicals and trying to get into the limelight here and there, and they're doing that part. That is
right,
amazing, but that's not going to really cut it for everyone else, right? That's a very
okay,
individual scene for you.
yeah,
So for everyone else, it needs to be institutionalized with the philanthropy, which is happening bit by bit. So as I pointed
okay,
out, there was KNMA, which is doing its bit, and they have painted a lot of Gond art here in Noida. There's
right,
the Serendipity Arts Fest, which is happening. I think, if I'm not wrong, it's sponsored by the Birlas. I mean, you can do a fact
right,
check on that. I'm not sure.
sure,
But Serendipity Art Fest is a philanthropic venture,
okay,
um, and so on and so forth. So the major scenes as such, Asian Paints with their philanthropy CSR
right.
is sponsoring Start. So yeah, it will come from the philanthropy as such. As of now, what I can see, apart from whatever government can pull in.
Okay, that's interesting. Now, street art, like you've mentioned earlier, is not just about graffiti, right? Can you tell us about what other forms of street art are people practicing now, and how is the stage getting bigger?
So graffiti is just like I think, very small part of the street art thing. I mean, it's the most known thing name wise, because
The flag
everyone
bearer,
refers to it. Yeah, flag bearer in terms of a name. Anything on the wall, I call it
yeah,
graffiti. But is everything graffiti? No. Graffiti is just the tags and the pieces, or the stylized fonts essentially that people make.
right,
Uh, but in reality, is graffiti on the walls a big part? No, it's just like 5% probably, just like a very minuscule part of the street art which is happening. The
okay,
major part of the street art which is happening are portraits. That's something which always people love.
right,
Landscapes happen sometimes, or you might not call it street art as such. It's more like wall art since it's indoors. But
right,
restaurants, offices, houses, rich people, they love their walls getting
right,
painted either with their own name or paint or faces, landscape, something like that. So a
right,
lot of the commercial, at least the wall art space, is filled with these indoor spaces within offices. And then when you see on the streets again, a lot of the work is happening on projects where people just go and do usually portraits and stuff, and
right,
that's where it is. Other than that, I think the government, as I pointed out, all these
okay,
government projects, they take
right,
the lead with whatever then the government asks you, usually some kind of aesthetic Indian style.
right,
That's what goes. And in some rare cases, when you have special projects, let's say, I talked about the 3D projection mapping which happened, and a couple of
right,
all these start festivals, they provide some amazing street art. Always they give freedom to the artist, and we saw that at Ladies First as well. We painted a 80-foot Asian flycatcher bird over there on the wall.
right,
So I mean, yeah, I mean, things are happening, but these are the major things apart from on the wall.
okay,
And if you take the wall out, then you have everything else. So in everything
right,
else, you have sometimes installations. Badal, once in Bangalore, he put a rubber
okay,
crocodile on the road
right,
to stop the traffic and highlight the situation of potholes to the people.
oh, okay,
Yeah, yeah. So that was something crazy. Uh, and you have these waste organizations, by the way, coming forward
right,
and doing a lot of waste installations. In fact, the Odisha government last year organized an entire waste art festival. So you had artists from across the globe come and create such amazing pieces out of metallic waste. Um, so yeah,
This is
that's
where the
that's
whole
happening.
upcycling movement come into play.
Yes, absolutely. The upcycling movement is coming into play. So this kind of stuff is, and of course the rangoli which happens in India generally, that's so amazing.
Right.
So rangoli and such similar stuff
That's
is
a
happening.
traditional street art.
Absolutely.
Now,